40 days of war, missile strikes, blocked oil routes, a world economy in shock. And then, just 90 minutes before the final deadline, everything changed. On April 7th, 2026, the United States and Iran agreed to a ceasefire. But is this real peace or just a pause? Stay with me, because what happens next decides the fate of global oil, markets, and millions of lives. To understand the ceasefire, you need to understand the war. It started with coordinated airstrikes. On February 28th, the US and Israel targeted Iranian nuclear and military sites. Iran retaliated instantly. They blocked the Strait of Hormuz, the narrow artery for 20% of the world's entire oil supply. Overnight, crude oil hit $117. Inflation fears spiked globally, and shipping ground to a halt. For 40 days, the region sat on the edge of a full-scale catastrophe until Pakistan stepped in. Here are the exact terms of the deal. Condition 1. Iran reopens the Strait of Hormuz immediately. Safe passage will be coordinated through Iran's armed forces to ensure global shipping resumes. Iran submitted a 10-point proposal, which the US accepted as a working framework for negotiations. The US responded with its own 15-point counterproposal, setting the stage for the Islamabad talks. Full talks begin April 10th in Islamabad, led by VP J.D. Vance under Pakistan's mediation. This is a 2-week window only. Both sides have agreed to halt all offensive military operations. Trump announced the deal on Truth Social just 90 minutes before his own final deadline. But there's a catch. Israel agreed to this ceasefire, but Netanyahu made it clear it does not apply to Lebanon. Israeli strikes on Hezbollah are continuing even as we speak, despite the pause with Iran. The market reaction was immediate and dramatic. Oil prices crashed 16% overnight. Dropping from $117 to $94, it was one of the worst single-day drops for oil since 2020. Stock markets exploded green worldwide. The Dow surged 1,374 points as investors exhaled. In Asia and Europe, gains were even higher. Japan's Nikkei surged over 5% on the news. But don't be fooled. 187 tankers are still trapped in the Gulf, carrying 172 million barrels. Oil is still 40% above pre-war levels. This backlog doesn't clear overnight. The economy remains fragile. The strait is reopening, but Iran is now charging transit fees of up to $2 million per tanker. That adds roughly $1 per barrel, costs that trickle into your fuel and airline tickets. Lloyd's of London confirms that maritime risk premiums remain high. Shipping companies are wary. Import delays across Asia, Europe, and the US will take months to fully resolve. The Qatar LNG complex suffered massive damage. Rebuilding could cost $25 billion. Full recovery is not weeks away. It's months or even years. The damage is deep. So what happens next? Experts are watching 3 potential scenarios very closely. Scenario 1, the deal holds. Both sides make concessions, and oil returns to $70. Scenario 2, the ceasefire expires. Talks stall, the strait recloses, and oil hits $120. Most analysts fear this is the most likely outcome if the 2 proposals aren't bridged. Scenario 3, Israel escalates. Conflict in Lebanon drags Iran back in, collapsing the deal early. The wild card? Trump's domestic politics. With elections coming, he needs a deal to lower gas prices. This ceasefire is historic, but fragile. 2 weeks, no guarantees. The world is watching. The next chapter is written in Islamabad on April 10th. It will ripple through your fuel and your investments. Follow this channel for daily updates. If this helped you, hit subscribe. You won't want to miss the next one. Stay informed, stay ahead. Thanks for watching.